We go right and finish.
What?
As soon as I hit the button.
I know.
Susie, I got something else to say.
No. It came into my head. And I just said it. If you're not new, if you haven't caught on to that by now, as a listener of this, that I'm gonna say it, you're in the wrong place.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Back Hash, where Zach is completely unaware of when the countdown happens.
Even though the numbers say 5.
Well, you all know as well as I do that sometimes those numbers they lie.
I mean, at least the 5 will
That
pop
math
up.
ain't mathing.
I know to stop talking when the 5 pops up.
Whatever. You know what? I get it from my mother. She doesn't know when to stop talking either.
She don't listen to this podcast, does she?
Huh?
Yeah, she does.
Probably.
Cindy, we love you.
But yeah, guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
It's
Countdown is on. Bandcamp's right around the corner.
I was like, the countdown for what? Yeah.
I'm ready for that asphalt.
I'm just not ready for just nothing. I ain't doing no percussion pre-camp this week.
Right. I hope I still can get into Pieware.
You should probably figure that
I
out.
need to do that. I mean, they're kind of important.
I'll just do it the old school and write it on grid paper.
There you go.
By hand.
Do what I did. Just put everybody where they're supposed to go. Just by hand. Come
Yeah, but you also had 8 people.
You have to know that. Hey, I did that once before with the band.
Oh,
That's
one
true.
time.
You did, yes.
One year, me and Ethan restaged the entire ballad of the show, and we literally did that. We're like, nope, you're going here, you're going here, you're going here.
Sometimes it's just quicker that way.
Yeah. And if you're not being moved or we're not addressing you, you need to stand still and shut up.
Man, listen, I love teaching band, but one of my things, man, is when you're cleaning drill. This one that scares me crazy. When you're cleaning drill, you're like, so-and-so, let's say F4, I need you to move to the right. And then the other person's like, F3 is like, I guess that means I need to move too. I'm like, I did not say your name. Please do not move.
Or like as soon as you do a rep, as soon as you cut off, they just start talking. I don't need you to tell me how that felt. I need you to check and adjust. It does not mean talk. That means you look around, you check your spacing, you check your coordinate sheet that you're supposed to have around your neck that half of you don't have. At least take a picture of it on your phone.
That's that's my favorite part is when we're sitting in drill and people are like, I don't have it. I'm like, you stop like, all right, everyone needs to go get it, go run now. And like half the band just like runs to the band room.
Listen, we used UBD last year,
that is pretty nice.
Which was great.
Nice.
And they can have it on their phone. So you're like, fantastic. Teenagers have their phone on them? Great. You'd be surprised how many of them did not have their phone on them or had their phone on them but didn't have it charged. And I'm just like, this is the thing. This is your lifeblood. Normally when we take this thing off of you, you're dying. Like, what is going on? But I forget it. I would have loved that as a high school kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did? One year we took coat hangers and put different color electrical tape on them. We stuck them in the ground. I never had more bloody legs than that year.
Hope everybody had their tetanus shot.
That was before I got there.
Yeah, this is way before you got there. Then we just paint on the field, and then end up having like 8 million different numbers on the field.
No.
Back
Good
in
old
my day,
poker chips.
Yeah, poker chips.
I've seen and or done a lot of it.
I don't know. I like the crayons on the asphalt.
I like that too.
It's there long enough, and then it goes away because it melts.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think I'm going to buy some basketball blinders. Bring them for some kids, where they have to like They can't look down no matter how much they do.
Oh, that'd be interesting. At first, I thought of horse blinders. I was like, that's not gonna help them.
It's like Secretariat out there.
Guide to the 50. I can't.
I can't see. Use it for riffs. I put my eyeballs behind the back of my head.
They're gone.
Oh, me. I'm sure our listeners have their own Bandcamp tropes and things that they can tell us about. But yeah. So we had week 2 of the DCI season, and it just, if anything, it just reiterated or reinforced the fact that we're going to have a super competitive season. I think in all of the tiers, the tiers of Drum Corps, and it even boils down to open class and the all age stuff too, because everybody's just. It's interesting to see some of these all age numbers too, because they're going after it as well.
Okay, so this is something I've been thinking about, and I don't. Do they still have different classes in all age?
Yes,
No.
apparently. Well,
because we saw that they didn't, and then all of a sudden, or we thought that they didn't, and then all of a sudden I heard like A.
From some of the recaps that I have seen like all age world, all age open. I have seen that. So
yeah, I thought that wasn't happening, but
I didn't know for sure. I thought they were lumping them all together as well, but maybe they're not. I'm trying to find a show that had some in it.
The Watch Party show did.
Okay,
I think.
I don't remember.
I don't know how they go, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, so I think just about all of the world class groups are out except for Genesis. I think everybody else has come out so
As
far.
of today, yes, of the day of recording. And today was debuts for them. But I don't think Crossmen have been out. They don't have a score on here.
They just came out today, remember?
Oh,
we just said
there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of few things to talk about. So we'll probably kind of hit up some of the cores that we didn't talk about last week because they didn't come out last week, and then just kind of go into what these tiers kind of look like going into week 3. As more groups are starting to come out, we're starting to see more head-to-head battles and things of that nature. So, we will start with Madison Scouts since we actually got to hear them this time.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately,
I can hear Will chanting from a distance away.
BYOB. Yeah, Will couldn't join us. Ironically enough, Will is as close to us as he could possibly be.
Yep.
Just without a computer. So he's here visiting his family. So he is not with us tonight. But I did not get to see the show still. So you two, I'll let you go after
it.
As Will would put it, about time. Like that's something I think a lot of people that are Scouts fans have been looking for. And the show's just good. It's just good. Like, they have that Scout sound where it's like, it's big, it's a little on the raw side to me, but I like that. I think that's just, that's their MO to me. Their perk is doing great. Their guard is doing great. The GE is right where it needs to be. I mean, I like it. The concept is different than what they've had in the past. I honestly think that when they make that transition to
2019, 2020-ish.
Yeah,
because during the COVID year, I think their first.
That's right. Yeah,
outing as co-ed.
I think we're starting to see that talent pool starting to get raised because of that, and I mean, I don't know, just hands down, a lot better than it has been, and it's good to see, man. It'd be awesome to see him back and perform the way that they are.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I don't know, like I was sitting there and I was like, yeah, this is pretty solid. And then I think it was probably the closer or it was the back half of the show where I was like, okay, this is good. Like they kind of got into the Latin feel a little bit, and which is like Scouts in Latin are like the ultimate combo, and it was like, okay, this feels right. Like it fit them, it fit the kids. Like it was good. It was really solid. It was the first time in quite a few years where I felt like they had all the parts that they needed to be successful.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It sounded to me like, excuse me, that 2020 year.
Yes.
When we went and watched them at the Indianapolis, like it had that kind of power to it, and like if you can feel the power while watching it on flow, then you're doing something right, and you could really feel it. Also, I feel like the mics were a little bit better at this show. Maybe that's what, I don't know. It felt a lot better there, but I think it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be cool to see where that show goes.
That's awesome to hear because Scouts was what got me in the drum corps, and to hear that it's kind of paying homage to the past but doing it in a more modern way, I think that's the goal that everybody is trying to do. They're like, yeah, drum corps, but it's the 2024 version of it. So like I'm still looking forward to seeing the show. I was gonna watch the pre-broadcast today, and I just completely forgot about it. But
my days wait for that lightning delay that took like an hour.
Oh, that's true. I bet you it'll still be in there. They probably won't go through and change and edit it out, so you might
be close.
Actually, probably about right now is when
I'm sitting here watching the show while y'all are doing the Huggins. Like, hey, y'all, take care. So yeah, so good. And I mean, they're in finals range with the scores that they're putting up. Those numbers put them right in the mix. So
yeah, it'd be interesting when Troopers come. The Troopers haven't come out yet, have they?
Yes, they have.
Yes.
They have. Mm-hmm. So I take it nobody's seen them.
I have not.
Okay. I haven't either.
I mean, that's probably a long time ago, but
no, the 6th. Oh. So we're recording this on the 8th right now.
They just haven't been on a streamed contest.
Yeah. I know you can't really compare scores, but what was
Troopers and Spirit and Crossman, Music City have not been on a broadcasted show yet, that I believe. But like 3 of those just premiered today.
Troopers' latest score was a 72.9.
Okay, so they're right in there then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't really compare scores, but average-wise, they're probably right in the same kind of mix that Madison is.
They're in 11, 12, 13 right now.
Yeah.
As of this recording,
Troopers at 13.
Yeah. So it looks like we haven't seen Troopers or Blue Knights because they just haven't been on stream yet.
They haven't came out yet either.
Who?
Yeah, they have. I lied. Ignore me.
I'm looking at a list of who got scores. So, like I said, the only ones, Jersey Surf and Genesis, I think, are the only 2 now that haven't competed.
I don't think Jersey Sheriff does until like they hit that little East Coast swing, if I remember right.
So while we haven't seen Troopers or Blue Knights, like I said, with their score being around the same area as Madison and Crossman, it kind of looks like that 11, 12, 13, 14 is going to be a 4-team race between Madison, Troopers, Blue Knights, and Crossman. Crossman scoring today at 74.650.
I always feel like Crossman, this just be me projecting, but I always feel like they start out pretty hot and they kind of hit like kind of a wall. Like they always score really well at the beginning of the season, and then a lot of people catch up to them.
I'm interested to
that's kind of the way.
I'm interested to see it.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's called the Lush Life. They're playing a lot of jazz standards, which kind of goes back to their Jersey roots. And I'm just and it works. I mean, you think about the Lush Life, and I think it's set back in, like New York heyday, when jazz clubs and things of that nature was
like Harlem Roaring 20s.
Yeah, either one of those two. I'd have to look, but it just gives off that vibe to where
makes you want to do the Charleston.
Yeah, a little bit.
Back in my day, this was called the hot area.
But I think, I mean, if it is that, I think that's used to be what's in their wheelhouse. So, I'm interested to see how that works. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of what Madison's doing, where they're doing a lot of Madison doing all this kind of music from different cultures and ethnicities and things of that nature, and which they thrived on for a long time, and now they're bringing it back and putting a modern spin on it. So I think with that number, it appears that Crossman are kind of doing the same thing, and they're just executing it at a pretty good level. So I'm looking forward to kind of see how that works in the mix. We could almost probably guess what Troopers are like. I'm interested also to see what Blue Knights look and sound like as well. With this new approach that they're having, it seems like people are digging what they're doing from outside sources that I've heard. They're pretty pleased with the direction that Blue Knights is going. I mean, you got to remember, it wasn't too long ago they were sitting in the 7-8 range consistently.
Take me back.
I was listening. I was painting my office today, and I had the Flow Marching radio on, and Because came on. Zach. And then also thought about the time we were watching it at your house.
Damn, copyright.
Your favorite part gets copyrighted. Oh man.
So, and some people are probably like, "Well, why don't I just watch it on YouTube?" We could. It could, but I don't. Me personally, I don't want to do that. I'd like to see it live first before I go back and rewatch it. A YouTube version.
I did watch Boston and Crown, and I think those are the only two I watched.
Well, you can catch like the day after. You can catch where people have like screen recorded from Flow and posted it, which but it won't last long. It'll get taken down probably pretty fast. But yes, I'm kind of with you. I want to see it on a live broadcast.
So, another group that made their debut this weekend, Spirit, and they're sitting with around a 71.2.
So I've not seen that show, but I've seen people talking about that show, and I'm excited.
I've seen some pictures and stuff. So
they got the guy on stilts or whatever and all that stuff, and
it looks different.
Yeah.
I'm anxious and curious to see that.
And it shows just Creatures, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if there was some more stuff to it, but
it takes it's like not like won't say lighthearted at the beginning, but it's kind of mysterious and it takes like a dark turn throughout or something like that, I think. But
so they're looking, they're a little behind that tier, that finalist first out tier. But that could also change as the season goes along too. That puts them around the same area as Pacific Crest as far as score numbers are concerned, things of that nature. Academy also came out this weekend, 68.35. What are you guys' thoughts on him?
It's pretty solid. I definitely think it's got the good bones of something that can be successful for them. You know, they've got a pretty good. I mean, they're playing well. Their visual package seems pretty good. They're using their big door props all over the place, which is cool. They put them together, they take them apart, they open them, they close them, you know, things like that. But yeah, I think it's a positive step for them. Not that last year wasn't good, but I think it's a better product than last year's was at this point in time.
yeah, I think I messaged you guys in our chat, and I was just like, I actually enjoyed that show. Like it felt good, like Zach was saying, just solid all around. And I mean, I think like they had the potential to do some stuff. I mean, they're in the outside looking in right now. You know, when it comes to like, you know, that finalist spot, there's a lot of people jam packed in there, but they can have a solid show. Like I said, I also want to say this because I think we talk about it a lot of times. It's okay to like a show out of the top 12. I want to make sure we understand that.
What?
As a society, it is okay to like shows. Actually, it's okay to like shows that's not in the top 4. Crazy, I know.
Or open class.
Like
What?
BDB. My God, that show. Man. Anyway, Academy. Good start.
So you got those, and then I'm trying to make sure I'm like got 40,000 tabs open, trying to figure some stuff out.
Computer's about to blow up.
There it is.
I hear it humming right now.
Sounds like a jet engine.
Music City also made their debut, and they're sitting with a 69.95, so almost a 70. So,
and that's their first read.
And there's the first read. So I did not see this one either. That one was today. Was not.
It wasn't broadcast.
So
I don't think we'll see them until on Flow. Maybe this weekend or this week. They're in one that has.
Yeah. We got a couple of good shows. Zach's got to figure out his one to watch anyway. So
already got it.
All right. Look at you being all professional.
Ready.
Stuff. And then Cascades also came out in their latest score, sitting with a 61.65. That show's got some potential, but it needs some work. It's and the West Coast is kind of hot this year. So, and then you got Vanguard having to go on first at contest. That's not helping anybody.
Why is that? That's a question I have. Is it because they didn't come out last year?
Yeah, basically, I believe in the first half of the season, your order performance is based off of your placement from last year.
That's what I was thinking.
Unless you're hosting the show, and then you get to go last.
So they won't. They'll keep doing that until probably San Antonio, right?
After San Antonio,
yeah,
I think, or maybe San Antonio.
They're about to put a effing wrench in San Antonio.
Yeah, which is one reason, and I think we've hit everybody, so we can kind of start getting into some nuts and bolts about a couple of things. But I think that's one reason if you've been kind of looking at the race, we can talk about that middle tier race right now. So, you want to talk about, you got Mandarins, and you might look at some numbers right now. The numbers are a little bit skewed because Boston and Phantom, sorry, not Boston, Phantom has come out. Boston, and up until the recently Crown, had not come out because they came out, but their last show wasn't scored. Now today, Carolina Crown popped a nice number, 83.45, to put them on top of the mix.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got Crown, not Crown,
Boston.
Mandarins.
Boston. Yeah, Boston, who hadn't had a show in almost unscored show in
almost a week.
Which in drum corps, as Mama DCI said so eloquently on Twitter, a week in DCI is like forever. So a lot can happen in a week. So trying to keep that in mind, you got Phantom, Vanguard, Mandarins, kind of all in this little three-way battle for 5, 6, 7.
Yep. Well, Cavaliers aren't too far behind.
They're not, and I think they cleaned up a few things.
And so I also would say, I know where you're going to go towards, but I mean, I think you need to throw Stan Claire in that.
I did
group too. Oh, you did. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And yeah, that's where I was going with that. And we could put Cavaliers in there too because they cleaned up and their score took a pretty good jump too from the last time they were out.
Zach just makes his bold prediction is not going the way he wants it to
go. What was your bold prediction?
That they would not be in the top 10, but that's fine.
Cavies?
Last year I said Blue Stars would be top 5, and we saw how that worked out. So,
so there's a few reasons why. Okay, besides the obvious reasons. So Vanguard with no props. I don't want to say that it's hurting them because I don't want to say that, but it might be. It just truly may be. It's just as we've gone on in the activity, used to seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
It could be where I think the thing that concerns me when I look at recaps is their content scores. Like it's seeing, and the Mandarins particularly, like their show has more content in it than Vanguard.
So this is how I feel about it because I watched that DCI West show, and when I was watching Vanguard, what I was thinking is, okay, you can go without props, but we gotta have vintage Vanguard drill, and that's what I think is missing a lot with this show is that there's nothing to take your eye away from what the core is doing. So they're like staging wise, they're staging well. Like, I mean, they have their moments here and there, but like I really feel like if you're not going to put anything on the field, which is fine, I actually enjoy that a little bit. The visual package is not what it needs to be if you're not going to have that revolving line. I know like a lot of people are like, well, it's marching band, blah, 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 blah. I understand that. But like, I think that's what's hurting them right now is that it just doesn't have any in it visually for me. Because when I saw them without the thing, I was like, oh man, they're about to pull out some Les Mis drill and just go crazy.
I mean, because think about that show it had backdrops in the back, but they didn't have anything on the field.
Yeah.
And really, Forces of Nature just had the tree out there. They didn't like incorporate it into much. So they've done quote unquote no props before. But I mean, I agree. You gotta, if you're not gonna have a prop on there to help you convey and portray the story you're telling or whatever the show's message is, you got to have something to do so. And I think they've got like one guard member that's like the character, but
it's smart.
I don't know.
Like I mean, they put out, this is our props. As a vagabond, they're nomadic. They don't carry things with them. All that. I understand the concept, but like, as a judge, they're not judging an Instagram post. They're judging the show. Well, you know what I mean? So,
I'm wondering, because I always watch high cam whenever I watch. So I watched when I watched them the last time. I'm wondering if the uniform color choice is hiding some of that drill stuff that you want to see.
I think thought that some of it. I thought the same thing because it was a night show, and those stadium lights cast those shadows that go in the 4 different directions because they've got light from all sources. And when they were in any condensed form, the darkness of their shadows against the kind of darkish, not like navy, but like the blue that they've got, it did kind of muddy up some stuff for me in between, like the space in between them. And I did think if they were wearing white, how crisp would this look?
Like those Babylon,
or even just a lighter color of blue, maybe. I don't know, but it's interesting you said that because it reminded me that I did think that when I watched it. But I will say the part where they were all in that big form, all smushed together, and they were doing all the cool stuff with their arms, that was really cool. The awesome, red sleeves, that was dope.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Santa Clara is kind of known for their very condensed things. They will do march in half-step intervals, and if somebody breathes wrong, it's done. And because of those tight intervals, it's very easy for somebody to be out and be dirty. So I think a lot of the stuff that you're seeing from them, with their achievement score, I'll be okay with. But I think the show is harder than what what the judges are giving, especially on the music book. I mean, they have Mandarin's music book beating them, and I personally don't hear. Just personally, I'm not going to say they're not Mandarin is not achieving higher, but I don't know. So I'm interested to see, because these are DCI judges. They're top notch. So I wouldn't think that the seating of the order of performance will hurt them that much. Mm-hmm. But I'm really interested to see what happens when they get head to head, like when they're like in the same neighborhoods performing.
I mean, do you think it could be like because they're going on so much earlier that they're afraid to put a bigger number down because it doesn't leave them room for like the BDs? Because if you're going to give Vanguard an 80 at this point right now, you're looking at giving BD an 85.
But see, back in the day, they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they've never really cared.
I mean, well, look at was it last year where like BD was already popping a 90 like
super early?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. My whole thing is that if gap is a gap, so if someone is, you give the initial score, whatever it is, okay, these people, I feel like they're not as good. Okay, I think they're about 2 points behind them. Then do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always feel like you can. Eventually, what's going to happen is if you do inflate the numbers, which we've kind of talked about that before. By the time you get to San Antonio or even Broken Arrow, that kind of levels out anyway.
Yeah,
like you kind of see a plateau happen towards the end of the year. Because I mean, also you think about like there can be a lot of changes, but like you're not going to get like 12-point changes in the end of July. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like those scores kind of flatten out by that time.
So so that's I'll be interested to see how that changes when Vanguard's performing in their specific neighborhood when that comes around. I'll be interested. They'll probably this weekend. They'll probably announce the because San Antonio's on.
It's 2 weeks from now.
Excuse me.
27th, right?
No, that's Atlanta.
All right, so sorry.
So it should be the 20th. It should be next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Not to pause the NCAA football. supposed to.
There's no such thing.
Hey, we could we have a watch party and a LAN party.
Oh God!
The same night.
Internet just exploded.
I would invite y'all to my house, but I don't know if my fiber would handle it.
No, it's a LAN party. You hard connect.
Well.
So anyway, yeah. So
it's a
so that middle tier. I mean, Phantom continues to push themselves, breaking 80.
Okay, hold on. I didn't get to talk about this last week.
Okay.
God, Phantom, thank you. Oh my gosh, man. My God, that's such a good freaking show. I'm so excited about that. Just the energy, the poppy in the mouth. I'm like, dude, that's. Sorry.
They're going after it. They're going after it for sure. Yeah. So yeah, Mandarins, Phantom, Vanguard, and Cavies. That's going to be really interesting to see head to head.
It'd be interesting who will not be in that pod for San Antonio.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big one, I think.
We kind of alluded, but Colts and Blue Stars are kind of on. I was going to say they're kind of on an island by themselves. Colts they widen the gap against Blue Stars.
I think that's going to be. They're going to be like sneaky good. Like they're good. Like I don't know. I think they might kind of. I think they might kind of fly under the radar a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're going to like shoot up into the top 6 or nothing like that, but they're just going to keep doing their thing and keep making adjustments and keep improving each week at a time. And before you know it, we're going to look down and it's going to be San Antonio and they're going to be sitting like 9th or 8th, and it's going to be like, whoa.
Well, that's the crazy thing. They're already sitting 9th.
Well, maybe 7th. I don't know.
But
I just feel like they're like not a lot of people are talking about them. They're just kind of doing their thing, and they're going to sneak up on somebody.
Here's my thought.
Blue Stars could do that too.
Well, I would have said that, but Colts just widen the gap, and they continue to widen the gap. Once, and I'll probably need about another week or two worth of shows just to feel good about that. But Coach might just be separating themselves, kind of like what Mandarins did.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was cool making finals, but now I want to try to make that push up to the top 6. And they were owning that 9th spot, and like really nobody's going to take it. And it looks like Colts going to do that. I like the show. I don't know if it's enough firepower to, let's just say theoretically right now, carry their 8th. I don't know if it's enough firepower to catch that.
I have not seen Cavi's show. Have y'all seen it?
Yes. It's.
We need to go back and listen to our episode last week.
Yeah.
We had a lot to say.
It's TLDR. There's some really good moments in it. But for us at that time, the cohesiveness of the show, we just didn't get it. It was like, here's this motif, cool, and then squirrel, and then it's back. I'm like, wait a minute, what was the 35 seconds between? Their ballot's really nice. I really like their ballot, and the percussion's going after it, but everybody else's percussionist is going after it too. So. It's just. I think we said it's just a lot, and we just don't know how to. We don't know how to take it in just yet, and I'm assuming some cleaning happened over the past weekend because that number jumped about 1.5, 2 points. So we'll have to see. It's going to be one of those things. Is when you hear Cavalier sonority at its best. Man, but you have to be able to enjoy it, and I don't know if the show design is allowing us to enjoy it just yet. That's my take. I don't think it's bad. don't understand.
It's not clean enough yet for us to really get a good feel for it.
Gotcha.
So I honestly, I think that's where they are. I think that's your difference between them and the Colts. Is the Colts, you know what direction they're going. You can get their show.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a show called On Field, it's like you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just, will they have enough firepower to catch cavies? I don't know. They got some stuff. There's some things in it. They have a screamer that holds a note for 37 years.
Jeez, man,
boy, howdy.
Golly, man. Like, how does that kid have lungs and lips like that?
That's the only note they play in the whole show.
So it's coming. I'm glad that these cores in the 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10 range are like going after it. I think your Blue Star show is gonna peak pretty early, just because it's very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very subtle show. Almost muted. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can watch it, like, oh yeah, all right, stars, cool.
Oh, I noticed something last night when they're in their performance.
Last night?
So it's an anniversary year for them, right?
It is.
And so I don't know if there was a uniform change in the guard or if I just now realized it, but I was watching and one of the members of the guard, the guard kind of filed through and I was like, okay, all their uniforms are different, which not anything out of the ordinary for them, but one of them had the apron and tool belt on from the Carpenter show. And then I started paying attention to all the other uniforms in the guard, and they all have what I'm assuming is a different, in the same color scheme, the same style as each other, but different uniforms from different shows through their history. And I was like, man, that right there. And then when they did the alumni performance, they had like old props and stuff from the last couple of years out there and stuff. So that was neat. And they played some of like their big hits from their stronger years and placements and stuff. But yeah, I was like, why is that? And then I saw there was a tool belt, and I was like, from the Carpenter show.
Oh, I'd have to look for it.
That was like
I like those.
You said subtle, and I was like, that reminded me of what I saw.
I like Easter eggs like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Easter eggs like that. And I think that's one reason why I like Boston's show so much this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's lots, if the show is what I think it's about, which I'll tell you finals week. Watch they'll announce it and be like, yes, I knew it all along. But just finding those Easter eggs in the shows that define not only who they are, but what their thoughts of concept of the show is. So, yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool with that. So we kind of already alluded to the 9 through 6 or 10 through 16 race a little bit. So, okay, top 5. Dude, what? So usually BD is just beating the brakes off of everybody, regardless of where they are in the country. But you have 3 scores that sit as of this recording that has scored over an 83. Carolina Crown today, which is, we recorded this on a Monday this time, scored an 83.45. Blue Coats at their show on the 7th scored an 83.4. Oh, and I lied. There's only 2 scores for 83 right now. Is that BD number right? I thought BD scored at 83 the other night.
Scored 81.
No, it's 82.05.
82,
okay.
Yes. They beat Mandarins by like 6
a
or something
bunch.
like
Which, honestly, that may be holding their score back. The fact that
it's a 4-point gap.
Yeah. So, Blue Devils is still up there, to be said. 82.05. So, those three complete, well, I would say 3 completely different shows. They're not, because I said this last week. I think BD and Crown are almost doing very similar type shows. You can easily compare them. But I am. This is gonna sound weird coming from me because everybody knows I like Blue Coats, but I'm kind of shocked that Blue Coats are scoring as well as they are. And here's why. The show is really different. It's really different. Like, it's very avant-garde. You know, it's not
I feel like it's more grounded than their last few years.
See, okay. I get it from a I get what you're saying from a concept standpoint. But from a musical standpoint, I think you could go away singing more of their last 2 year show than you could this one.
I give that to you. Yeah.
From a
them opening with that Boston song is, I was like, I didn't expect that. Well, yeah, and then okay, I feel like every year I say, man, Blue Coats had my favorite ballad. I've been saying that since probably, I don't know, probably Kinetic Noise. Well, no, probably Tilt.
Yeah,
that Tilt ballad hit different than Kinetic Noise when they played Bon Iver. It hit different. But what really got me was when they did Session 44. I loved that ballad. And I was like, man, this is solid. And then last year, I didn't think I could love any ballad more than Session 44. And then last year's, I was like, this is the best. It just tugs all the right strings for me. It's very, I don't know. I don't know if esoteric is the word.
I mentioned this before, but I think why their ballads hit so good and like are impactful is because their lows are some of the best sound quality you will ever get from one of those instruments, man. I feel like for the last 8 years, it's been just, I mean, the contras and your baritones and they just fill the sound up so much, and it's just that velvety kind of, I don't know. I love it.
Like, if I'm gonna train a music effect judge, all I'm gonna do is sit them in front of a screen and have them listen or watch, well, really listen to a Blue Coats ballad, because they know how to kill you with kindness, so to speak, I guess is a good way to say it. But then just at the right moment, you just get that full core sound, and it's like, oh my God. I don't know.
I think for them, it's a excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think Doug Thoreau's their brass arranger. I think it's I think it's him. Somebody, if I'm wrong, somebody's gonna eat me alive.
Actually,
yeah, but he's either Doug Thoreau's either the guy for Blue Coats or Blue Devils, and I can't.
You better not confuse those two.
I know. There's another name coming up in my mind. I'm gonna stop before I get it. Anyway, but because people are like, well, Crown has this rich sound. Yeah, they do. And you can appreciate that because of what they're playing and how well they do it. I think for me, and probably along the lines of you, is that they're doing it with material that either A, we haven't heard of, or B, stuff that we didn't think could sound that way on the marching band field. It's just like, how did you make that come alive the way that it do? And I'm wondering now, because technology's here, we're gonna use it. If judges are like, oh, it's really hard to balance, because the ballot, I don't care how much electronics you can use. If the brass isn't doing their part, it doesn't matter.
Ding, ding, ding.
Because
you just got to be able to play.
Yeah, because now, the electronics may be reinforcing or being processed or something like that. But if that brass is out of tune, or splats an entrance, or does something weird, now we hear it, and we hear it 15,000 times worse than what we would have heard it had they not been mic dropped. So it's a risk, and I think now that they're getting credit for the risk. and realizing like, well, this wouldn't work if those kids weren't executing at that level. We can talk about it now. If you ain't seen the Blue Coat Show in 2 weeks, then I don't know what to tell you.
What do you do?
That first chord, those first 5 or 6 notes,
stupid,
with the intonation, the precision of the attack, it's ridiculous. It's nuts.
Well, then they call it back at the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
who did you say was their brass arranger or designer?
Doug Thrower.
Yep, you were right.
Yes.
You live another day.
Woo. I've known a couple of guys, old alumni who had marched with them, and they throw out his name like, man, he's the best. And I do. I like his arrangements. Some of his chord progressions I have used in a couple of my shows. I use a lot of. He
just squeezes every ounce of sound he can out of an instrument, man. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just so good.
And BD does it too. That's why we like him, is because the way their chords are structured and and things of that nature, they just sound, when it's on, it's freaking on, and it's fantastic, and you just enjoy it because it's hard to replicate that. And like I said, Crown does it, but you've heard people say this, so it's not me saying this. They have the best B flat chord in DCI. That's why I think for Crown, one of the best things that they could have done is had John Mackey write that closer, because that gave them a completely different timbre, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I really like that.
That's literally like a 180 from what you usually hear from them. It's good.
So that's kind of the cool thing is that we got going on with those top 5. I'm gonna keep saying top 5 because I think Phantom has earned that right.
They're in the mix
to be mentioned. And if I think Boston's sitting 4th right now, or 3rd or 4th, if they're not careful and Phantom brings one, you might see some fireworks, man.
If they do another damn tie.
I'm once again I'm the conductor of the Phantom train, dude. So good.
It's good. It really is good. I'm really excited just for drum corps this year, because there's really not a show that I'm just like, I'm not here for it. It's going to be hard to figure out my bathroom break chord for DCI this year.
Well, that'll be determined probably on the road up there, because we'll find out who's in.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not going to be clear cut, I don't think.
No.
It won't be clear cut until the morning of finals.
I hope this is a year to where all of the little tiers and pods switch every single night. Like, I want a different winner. I want a different 4, 5, 6 spot. I want a different finalist, and you can only have that twice. But I want just complete and utter chaos always.
That's what Troopers did that year that they got in. I mean, they were.
I'll never forget that. 14. We about wrecked the car.
Yeah.
They're sitting like, Troopers are in.
Oh. They did. But yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff. So it's a good season. It's a really good season for Corps. And I feel like we've said that the past couple of years, which is good, because every now and then we get a year like, it's all right. But no, I genuinely like everybody. Everybody. So
what?
How you doing?
Oh, is this my cue?
Zach, what is our one to watch this week?
All right.
All right, there you go.
Cutscene. Go, what to watch. Take that out.
Editor, click that.
Yeah.
Actually, editor, do that. Rewind it, slow-mo it, and then.
I'm gonna make the episode 2 hours long, and an hour is just gonna be that.
Our one to watch for this upcoming week And I did this as in the week from when this episode drops and the episode following it. So our one to watch is going to be on Tuesday, July the 16th. Where, you ask? At Broken Arrow. Who, you ask? Well, first, the national anthem.
Hey, murder.
After that, you have Zephyrus Drum and Bugle Corps. Then Cavaliers, followed by Phantom, followed by Boston, followed by Mandarins. Then Intermission, who's a sleeper for finals, by the way.
Listen, they're killing it this year.
And then we have Blue Devils, Blue Coats, and Crown. So you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential top 7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. So
we'll seem to have to wait till Tuesday to watch it, but
it'll be worth the wait.
It will be. It will be for sure. But I mean, Flo's got a lot of different shows.
There's stuff coming in that whole week that is worth it. But that one had, I mean, that's the first time we're gonna have BD mixed in with any of the East Coast groups. I mean, because we've seen a Boston Crown matchup already. We've seen Blue Coats in Boston already. But like, this will be when Phantom and Mandarins go head to head. You know, this will be, so it'll be, there's some juicy storylines that could come out of the scores from that.
For sure. I'm just looking at the show for tonight, which would be July 10th. The Order, Battalions, Santa Clara Vanguard, Seattle Cascades, Academy, Pacific Crest, Intermission, and then Troopers.
Wait, say the chords before Intermission again one more time.
The Battalion, Santa Clara Vanguard, Seattle Cascade, the Academy, and Pacific Crest.
That's insane. That is literally insane.
Like, it doesn't. It just
the rules.
Like, them's the rules. It just looks like it looks like an error. It looks like a typo. It's like what?
Like, I'm telling you, San Antonio is going to come out and they're going to come on like first or second or something insane like that in world class. And
I'm looking to see if that schedule's already out.
I didn't see it on Flow.
No,
it's not. I think it'll be out for our next episode for sure. So, but yeah.
Poor Seattle, dude.
Like you,
Seattle.
Like you're sitting at the gate, like, wait a minute. What did we do this?
They better get their ticket workers ready to go, because people will be mad if they miss that.
Boy,
they stand in line to get their ticket scanned, and that was a Santa Clara pick. What?
Huh? I just out here. What is? Yeah, they don't have the schedule for that yet. They'll probably wait until after this week to start getting set up. We do know when the Intermission performs though at the Southwest Championships in San Antonio, 401 and 613.
Oh, prelims finals, eh?
For them, just for them. That show used to be prelims finals.
That's nuts.
It's that one in Atlanta. It started at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and every world-class court did it. No. Wait a minute. No, it was like the first 8, I think, had a bye. First 6 or first 8 had a bye. Everybody else competed for the last final spots. And then that night they went. I think it was something like that.
That would be cool if they could do it like on a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. And like everybody performs, and then you get slotted and you draw. Like, everybody, like at the band contest, you're going to draw for your final spot performance.
Yeah.
And then everybody runs it back. That could be fun. Let's do that for finals. All the finalists get in, and you just draw for a spot.
God bless them.
There's a story. They used to do that.
Let's bring it back.
They used to do that. I know we got a few veteran, seasoned DCI alumni that listen to us and watch us. So if you remember either of those, whether when those prelims or finals at the regionals, or when you drew your spot for finals, if you can remember that, let us know in the comments and talk about that, because that'll be really cool to hear and to learn about. Because there was a big, I don't know if it was a scandal, and I think it dealt with the year Madison won, that Blue Devils drew an early slot, and they felt like because of that draw, it ruined some stuff. I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know where you can.
Them's the rules.
So, but no, they changed that soon after that, where you
finish stamped out.
Yeah. So, but you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're almost at the 300 mark on the YouTubes, so that'd be a really cool thing to hit, and all that good stuff. And we got some more. We'll do some more. What are those things? Watch parties. We'll do some more of those. So have the notification button clicked. That way you'll know when we're going to do that type of stuff and all the things. So, fellas, you got anything else? All right. For Chris and Zach and Will, wherever he may be at this point in time, probably in the bed. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Making his gyrating videos.
Maybe not. Oh, Jesus. For all of us.
If you don't want to feel uncomfortable in a public place, follow Will's workout page.
He does have a workout page on Instagram. It's pretty lit.
It's good. He does great.
Just be prepared. Just be ready. Make sure your girl's not around. Well, she may want to be around. I don't know. Anyway, from all of us to you guys, happy DCI season. It's great. Start watching YouTube videos if you can't get to a show. And donate a meal, or at least a Gatorade or something.
You said a meal. I thought you said a mill, like $1 million. I was like, to who?
Do that too.
To me?
To do that too.
To us? Entire season.
I'm not gonna. Hey, I'm not gonna. You're not gonna get me to. Anyway, we are
out. So, anyways, like I was saying about the soccer match before we started.